So last Friday I was at a session of Good to Gold, and if you like corporate culture, you definitely should check out the website of Delaney Consulting. It was very interesting. One concept that I didn't like about that session was the concept where they explained how to focus your energy. And the explanation started by saying there are only a limited number of things that are inside of your control. For example, the fact if you drink coffee in the morning is inside of your control. So there you can focus your energy on. There are a lot of things who are not in your control, but on which you have some influence. For example, the projects that are selected by your department can be influenced by you if you manage to convince your colleagues. So far, so good. But then came the other concept they explained, and they explained there were things which are outside of your control. You have no control on a number of things, and the example used was the process used by HR to conduct an evaluation or the security policies of IT. You can't control these things, so you just should learn to accept them. That was the message. And the explanation was, these things are almost like gravity. Whatever you try, you can't defeat gravity. It will always pull you back to Earth. Now, I don't agree with that, because gravity is explained simply wrong here. When you look at physics, gravity is the simple concept of two objects with a certain mass. When you bring them close to each other, they will attract each other. That's gravity. Two objects will attract each other when they're close to each other. Now, when you have one big object which seems to be unable to move, and you are, as an individual, trying to pull it along, you'll not have enough mass to move this object. But if you gather enough critical mass around your idea and enough people who believe in your idea, and you stand close enough to the thing you want to change, then you can slowly pull it along and make something move which seems impossible to move. Now, how do you do this? How do you gather enough people around the same concept? For me, you can't do that by giving instructions. When this is the IT security policy, even the CEO cannot change it, because the CEO can't say this policy is no good, because it is there for a reason. But if you have the right culture in your company, a culture where people collaborate and think along the same lines, slowly but certainly people will line up and think along the same direction. And by having a joint culture and a shared culture, people will be able to move in the right direction and change the thing which you want to say. So my message is very simple. Do not accept that there is something like gravity. Do not accept that in a company there are things that are impossible to change. Everything can change as long as you have a shared culture of openness and when you can collaborate with other people. That's right. Culture eats gravity for breakfast.